She lay down in the middle of the road and refused to move. Cars swerved, horns blared, and still this pig would not budge, because back inside the house behind her, her owner was dying, and somehow she knew it. This is the true story of Lulu, the pig who became a hero, and the small, surprising list of animals who have done something just as remarkable for the people they love. Let's start with Lulu, because her story is the one that started it all. Back in 1998, in a quiet Pennsylvania town, a woman named Joanne Altsman was home alone when she collapsed from a massive heart attack. She couldn't reach the phone, she couldn't call for help. All she had was Lulu, her Vietnamese pot-bellied pig, who normally spent her days snoozing in the yard and begging for popcorn. But that day, Lulu did something no one expected. She squeezed through a broken fence, waddled out to the road, and laid down directly in the path of oncoming traffic. Drivers slammed their brakes. One man got out, furious, ready to shoo the pig away, until Lulu did something even stranger. She got up, walked toward him, then turned and walked back toward the house, looking over her shoulder the whole time, almost like she was saying, "Follow me." He did, and that's how he found Joanne on the floor, barely conscious. Paramedics later said if help had come even a little later, she likely wouldn't have survived. Lulu didn't fetch a phone, she didn't bark for attention. She invented her own plan, on the spot, using the one tool she had, 300 pounds of stubborn pig sitting in the middle of a road. Now here's the part that gets people every time. Pigs are not supposed to do this. They're smart, sure, but they're not exactly known for heroics. So what made Lulu different? The truth is, she wasn't all that different. She was just the first one whose story made the news. Because it turns out, animals pulling off rescues like this happen far more often than most of us realize, and some of the best examples come from the animals already curled up on our couches. Take dogs. We already know they're loyal, but some stories go past loyalty into something that looks a lot like foresight. There's the case of a Labrador in Oregon who woke his family in the middle of the night, dragging blankets off the bed, barking without stopping, refusing to settle down. The family finally got up to investigate and discovered a gas leak filling the house. Firefighters said another hour, and it could have ended very differently. The dog had no training for this. No one taught him what a gas leak smells like. He simply knew something was wrong, and he was not going to stop until someone listened. And then there's a story that might surprise you even more, because it involves an animal people love to underestimate. Cats have a reputation for being distant, for caring more about their nap schedule than the humans around them.
But in one widely reported case, a house cat in the UK began pawing frantically at her owner's chest while he slept, over and over, refusing to stop even when he pushed her away. Annoyed, he finally woke up fully and realized his chest pain wasn't heartburn. It was a heart attack in progress. He made it to the hospital in time, and doctors credited the early warning with saving his life. A cat, the animal famous for not caring, may have quite literally saved a man by refusing to let him fall back asleep. So, what's actually going on here? Scientists don't have a perfect answer, and that's part of what makes these stories so captivating. Some researchers believe certain animals can detect subtle changes in scent chemistry when the human body goes into crisis, shifts linked to seizures, blood sugar crashes, even heart irregularities. Others think it's simpler and somehow more touching than that. These animals are watching us, constantly, far more closely than we ever watch them, and when our normal patterns break, they notice immediately. And that brings us back to Lulu, because her story didn't end with saving Joanne's life. In the years after, Lulu became something of a local legend. Joanne kept her as a beloved companion for the rest of her life, and whenever she told the story, she'd always add the same detail, that Lulu never acted like she'd done anything unusual. She just went back to lounging in the yard, waiting for her next handful of popcorn, as if lying down in traffic to save a human life was simply Tuesday. Maybe that's the part that stays with us the longest. These animals don't do what they do for praise or treats or recognition. There's no applause they're chasing. A dog dragging blankets off a bed at 2 a.m., a cat pawing at a sleeping chest, a pig risking her life in the middle of a road. None of them had any idea they'd become part of a story people would still be telling decades later. They just knew someone they loved needed help, and they didn't stop until they got it. If you've got a dog or a cat at home, take a second tonight and really look at them. They're paying closer attention to you than you probably realize. If your pet has ever done something that felt like more than coincidence, waking you up, acting strange right before something happened, refusing to leave your side when you were sick, we would love to hear that story in the comments.
And if this one moved you even a little, go ahead and hit like. It genuinely helps stories like Lulu's find their way to more people who need a little heartwarming faith in animals today.